hydrate a little bit more because I just...
If you go too fast in the caffeine, yeah, it'll run you to the bathroom.
No,
That's
I
not
wish. I wish it would run me to the bathroom.
Mm.
No, I just feel like really weird right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You slept in for the first time in maybe 10 years.
And I like forced myself to sleep in too.
Good
like,
for you. You know, I was shocked when I turned over and you were there. I was like, what?
There was an inner dialogue happening between me and me. And
I could tell.
One me was literally like getting up to go work out. And she was at the Pilates studio, but then she realized she didn't want to be there.
It's like Fight Club.
Sure, I haven't seen that movie.
It's fair. You don't need to. It's not very good.
Really?
It's like, you watch it now and anyway.
Isn't it like Bottoms?
Is it?
Have you seen Bottoms?
Is that the...
Have you seen Bottoms?
Is that the IO movie?
Yeah.
It's not... No.
Oh. I thought they just fight each other for fun.
It's like kind of a dramatic thing, though.
Oh, it's not funny.
No, it's not supposed to be funny.
So they just like beat the shit out of each other for fun. I
mean, at that time, it's like kind of cool, but like it kind of created the worst generation of men, I think. Because it's all about like men.
Why?
Because like men, we need to fight, and like we're not. You don't have God.
Created?
Our dads are dead. 90s.
Oh.
90s.
So would you say 90s was the worst generation of men?
Well, I think like men of my generation, not to call me a man, but people of my generation watched it.
What?
And then I think like this weird Andrew Tate sort of arc that we see in certain men. I don't think that's what the movie was trying to do, but I thought
it was an older movie. I didn't realize it was so applicable for our generation.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it would be like generation slightly above.
Who the fuck are you hanging out with though, bro?
Dude,
I feel you kind of feel like you're descending into madness a little bit with these boys.
I think I am. I think I'm getting pretty mad over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you should. Feel the rage.
Yeah. But yeah, you're talking about
No, I slept in, and I always feel really like wonky when I sleep in. Like I don't feel well. But also, you guys, I'm gonna be honest. I think Aaron and I had a revelation this morning because he's been trying to help me with my portfolio, which, as you know, I'm creating because I want to apply to copywriting jobs because I need a real life job and big girl salary, and I need money, honey. And anyway, we've been working on that, and also Aaron has been kind of boggled down with his other day job. So his other day job being one of them being me, and the other one being his actual day job.
Correct. Girl, that cat is just sorry to interrupt. She just passed out on the thing.
No one knows what you're talking about.
I know it's a podcast, but our cat is literally face down against a sheet of glass.
Yeah, she likes to be smushed but with her face. It's like a weird thing that she has.
Yeah. Anyway, you're talking about something.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I feel
wonky,
great. But you don't really pick up the energy when I'm wonky. So then I feel like I have to falsify it.
You don't have to falsify anything.
I just want to be how I am for real.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just like dandruff. You have dandruff in your hair.
I know. We know this is an issue now.
Okay. Sorry. I feel like I'm being so boring right now. What was I saying?
You're not at all. You're talking about how you have two personalities, which I completely agree with. Not in a bad way.
I wasn't saying I had two personalities.
You said one was at the gym and then one was in the bed.
Oh, yeah, that was real.
Which I could see. No,
but what I'm saying to you is that we woke up this morning and we've just been, I don't know, I feel like we haven't been seeing the light of day. Like, I've been trying to keep up with my workouts, get a little walk in here and there, but that's really all I've been doing to leave the house and go to work. And then I come home, I clean the house, I sit on my phone, I maybe work on my portfolio for a little bit, and then I get excited to sit on the couch, eat my food, and go to sleep. And I just feel like, especially Aaron, though, it's been way harder for him because he's had an actual lot of work. And so he's just been really boggled down and staying inside. And I feel this like weird shadow of depression every single day this week.
Yeah.
And I think that is because we haven't been working on a creative project at all. And even though we make no money from doing that, it
Yes.
feels so freaking fulfilling. Like, I do think it is my favorite. You know, you never know where those projects are going to end up. You never know if anyone will ever see them. But I think it's reassuring when you're not working on it to see how happy you are in life and to see that you actually do create these things for yourself and for yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
To bring you a lot of joy. Like, it really accounts for like 80% of my joy.
I agree. Well, I think it's like for a lot of people, they think, well, why would you do something, or they're struggling with maintaining? And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be, I think, what we're doing. But it's like, okay, well, try living in absence of that thing that you're pursuing.
Yeah.
And if you can live without it, then maybe that means,
I do think if you can live in absence without something that you are actively pursuing, that is a difficult pursuit. Like,
yeah.
if it is an artistic career, if it's something like acting per se,
Yeah, it's really hard.
You for the first 10 years, you're not really doing anything with it. You're having to self-generate, and sometimes that feels like a waste of time because you're like, how
Where
is
is
this
going?
how is this moving forward my career? Because I will be honest with you, most days when we podcast and we create our work and we sit down and get excited about something, we don't feel that we're moving our career forward.
No.
And thus far we have not. We genuinely haven't moved our career forward. But I think, you never know what can happen. That's what people say. But I don't think that that's why you do it.
Yeah.
I think you do it because it genuinely brings you joy. And without it, if you're a mess without doing that creative thing, then you know that you've been cursed like us and you should be doing it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that you don't really have another option.
Well, I think you can tell when you're watching something if it was made in when they're chasing views, you can tell when something's chasing views.
I think I might have OCD because I will not drink the matcha until I finish this
until
bottle
you finish
of water.
the bottle of water. It's like a mental thing. It's not like a taste preference.
No, it's a mental thing.
What does that mean?
It's
How
just
full is
I
that?
can't.
That's a whole Hydro Flask.
Yeah.
What the hell? You got to drink the whole thing. Do you want me to help, or is this a you thing? You won't accept help. I see. Until you've started, you haven't taken a sip of the matcha?
No.
It's gonna get cold.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Aaron. It's like when I was little and I'd be like, you can't get up to go to the bathroom until you finish this page of homework.
I'm trying to think. I would do bathroom. I would do I can't get a glass of water.
Yeah.
Or I can't eat.
I was so disciplined as a child.
You really discipline yourself.
Yeah.
You really.
But now I'm not as much.
I would say you still are. I would say you still are.
I finished the bottle of
you
water.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have to go up and go to the bathroom 5 times in this thing.
Let's just not talk about it. I get my matcha now.
Oh my god, are you not?
Guys, this is my matcha cup. Look at how freaking cute it is.
It's really cute.
My friends from home got it for me that I've been growing up dancing with my whole life, and it just looks exactly like matcha.
It's beautiful.
So beautiful.
It looks like that's what belongs in it. Nothing else belongs in it.
And I only I do think I might have OCD because I only put matcha in this cup. I refuse to put anything else in this cup. It actually really triggers me if I have anything else in this cup.
I think I don't think we need a doctor.
Yeah. Anyway, what we were saying about creating.
We were saying I don't know, just I think both of us woke up this morning being because it's been a few weeks since we've thought about it. Because sometimes
I'm gonna be honest with you. When
Please.
I was waking up this morning, I was like, what do I have to fucking wake up for? And I know that is definitely depression.
I could see it in your eyes were closed and I could see it.
But I was like, what do I actually have to get up for today?
There's depression in her slumber.
There was depression. I had a dream that I shit in a bucket next to Aaron's head.
Next to my head?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was trying not to shit on your head, so I got a
Why
bucket.
Why would we ever be in that position?
Because I was still in the bed. I couldn't get up. You know when you're half awake, half asleep?
But you actually had to go then.
Yeah.
Maybe in your dream.
But I've been having some issues, so TMI. You know what?
You were
Fuck it.
standing up?
No, I was in a fetal position next. This is disgusting. Imagine if anyone finds this on the internet when we're successful one day and they're like, yeah, she shit on his head. People take that out of context.
Out of
Like,
the clip it. They
the
clip
classic like analopolis that was created when
it. Right.
I think I told you guys about this, but there was this rumor going around in school by this girl who she probably had feelings for my ex that I was dating at the time, who
So she came up with a rumor. A
yeah,
sexual rumor?
she came up with a rumor that I had anal before I had regular sex,
I see. That's unusual.
like with this guy.
I wouldn't be judgmental, but I would be curious. I'd be like,
That feels
interesting.
very religious.
I would agree. I would agree completely. I was about to say it feels
Yeah.
very Catholic.
But I mean, everyone was like equally Catholic there, so it
So yeah,
wasn't
that
really an
wouldn't even be a
attack on
thing.
me.
Right.
It was. I think it was just kind of to be like, she's a freak.
Yes. Understood.
And I was, but not for that reason. And so I used that name as my Finsta Instagram handle.
You took your power back.
I took my power back, you
Wow.
guys. And yeah.
Good for you.
But I was kind of like, this is such a stupid rumor.
That is very silly.
Like, I wasn't
but that's
really-
very big of you to be able to just.
I wasn't really offended by rumors back then.
I see.
I guess not now either.
Yeah.
I know my truth. That's all that freaking
You
matters.
just gotta know your truth. You gotta know yourself. You can't be swayed by, others, demonizing
Oh, yeah.
your character.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Plus, I saw my greatness long term, and that's all that matters.
right. Oh, that's a good. That's
My
a good way to
greatness
put
long
it.
term was the only thing that got me through middle school. and high
Long-term
school.
greatness
No, seriously.
from middle school. Good for you.
Well, because I was like kind of bullied in middle school.
I think I hated
Kind of,
school
lightweight.
so much that I imagined since
You
I
were
was
kind of cool though,
No, I was never cool.
but you acted out.
I acted out. Yes.
You
More-
were never cool.
It was more middle school. Through high school, I tamed. I wasn't defiant in high school, but elementary through middle, you could not stop this man.
Really?
Yeah.
You were a little rapscallion.
I was a little rapscallion. I would get the strikes in middle school. What would it be if you had to go
like
to the
a red or
principal?
yellow card?
They would do soccer. They would do a little soccer thing.
Soccer. Oh, right, sports.
Yellow and red.
Yeah, yellow and
Interesting. Wow.
red. No, it depends on the thing. Like,
So yellow.
I never got detention. I only got detention once in high school because I ditched school in front of a teacher.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I had a school that would do strikes, and 3 strikes and you're out. You get suspended on the 3rd. First is a warning. Second, they tell your parents. Third, you're out of here.
So you'd get like you're out of here?
No. But they would reset every semester, so I'd stretch them out.
Oh,
get
we had
one.
to sign a book. We
Sign
had
a
to sign a
book?
book, and you know what's so fucking stupid?
What?
I had to sign the book because I wasn't playing at recess.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what does the book mean? What are you signing?
If you get 3 signs, you get like detention or something. But you have to sign this book, and it's like a big thing.
You
And
guys had very weird,
I went to Catholic
creative
school.
punishments.
Yeah, it was awful.
Like very strange.
That's why I
things.
live in a fear-based world.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's very Catholic, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to talk,
No, talk shit. I'm Catholic. That's a terrible thing about the religion.
Yeah, that's very specific. It's very specific and strange.
Yeah, it
To
was
sign
very.
a book?
Yeah, so we had to sign a book.
That'd be
and
very scary.
I
as a
had to
child.
sign the book because I wasn't playing at recess. And that was always why I got in trouble in school, because I wasn't playing at recess.
What would you do at recess?
I'd sit and talk.
Like in the class?
No,
Were
like
you an in the
outside
classroom
a
recess
circle.
kid? Oh, you get in trouble for that?
Yeah.
What?
You had to
You're
play
outside.
because of physical activity, and I refused to do physical activity as a child. Like, I
Yeah.
actually, thank God I was interested in ballet, because I just would not move my body.
Yeah. You're not right.
And it's like those beep tests. This triggers me so
Oh,
much.
the beep test.
Those beep tests that you'd
Yes.
have. You were probably really good at
I
it.
love the
You were
beep
probably one
tests.
of those like sweaty kids. Like,
Yeah, I was a sweaty kid.
yeah, no. So I walked the beep tests. I got in trouble for those. I always had the lowest score in the beep tests every single time. Like,
Don't you just get out? I mean, how does the beep test work? Doesn't it? You
yeah,
just
I
have to
got
do it
out.
at a certain
I got out
pace?
first every single time. Every single time I was out first.
I haven't thought about the beep test in years.
And we had this thing called a jogathon, where you would like jog, and they put this like piece of paper on your back. They literally taped like a white sheet to your back.
What the
And you
hell
get like
kind
little
of thing?
every time you went back to your like mom group or whatever, they'd give you a tack on your thing and you'd get a lap. And I'd
Oh,
always have the lowest number of laps every single time. And at the end, like, you'd get a popsicle, and that was it.
oh,
And the boys would make fun of me for the way I ate my popsicle, fucking dickwads. And anyway, the point is that was the worst day of the year because not only did I not know what a blowjob was back then and was being
right.
made fun
I
of it,
see now.
but number two is I couldn't run around the circles. So I always had the lowest number of tacks, and you got like status with the higher number of tacks that you had.
Right.
And like back then, I feel like when you're a kid, like coolness is tied to sports or like how athletic you are. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like a very boy run
like they
world.
really want the
Because the energy base. It's
yeah,
like, what's the most
it's
energy?
a boy run world, and also like I think the girls who are more athletic get more hype around them as well.
Yeah,
Like
for
I
sure.
felt really awkward for being a girly girl, which I know that doesn't truly make sense, but I just really felt like I was a little freak.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got through all of this by swearing to myself, saying, "One day, Sophia, you are going to be great."
Well,
And all
that's
these people are going to know it. And you know what? They all still hit me up to this day. So cheers to
true.
that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a kid, like, I just really didn't want to be in school. Like, I hated school so much. I never liked school.
I liked
ever.
learning. I hated that things were so like black and white, right and wrong.
It's very rigid.
Yeah.
But it's very weird, and I don't know what this means for me. But like, you could learn during the lessons.
Oh,
Like, could you paying attention?
Yeah, you definitely have like some sort of ADHD.
Because
We're diagnosing ourselves on this
say,
pod.
I have never ever, and I've said this before, been able to like I've never learned from a lesson. I've never
When
been
we
able
did
to
like
pay
acting
attention.
classes in school, were you able to learn from that?
I think I was a little bit more interested, so I
Mhm.
was paying attention, and that's more like a doing thing,
Yeah.
you know. So at least I'd be thinking, but like I don't know, like any type of lesson in school, I never paid attention ever. Like I can't recall like I remember being like, I don't know what just happened. I did not pay
No,
attention.
see, I needed those lessons because
School's useless to me personally. And I know
yeah,
that's
and
not
you
the
are
case.
a smart kid, so you probably are more intelligent without school. Like I desperately needed school.
Well, I think it's just like I think the way school is structured is it's very like watch and learn oriented. So if
Yeah.
you're someone who learns by doing, which is just that's the only way I know how to learn,
Mhm.
is if and it doesn't and I don't mean like necessarily like physically doing, but like I have to be either like reading something, like I can't just like watch and someone
I get
explain
that.
something to me that just never connects.
I get that.
I have to like either be I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah, I don't
Or I
know.
just zoned out.
For me, the hardest part of school was always the social aspect. Like I hated recess. I hated computer lab.
Computer lab.
I never felt like I really, and I think I did this to myself a little bit because I think I self-identified as a freak from a very young age.
Sure.
But I think the schools where I went specifically because I'm a social kid, like, and I think that I'm not too weird, especially after I went to Michigan. But I no, not to say that, but like genuinely when you go to a Michigan class, like the whole school is filled with nerds. So if you're
Yeah,
a nerd
you feel
yourself,
very
like
safe.
you feel safe.
We went to theater school and we felt totally safe.
Yeah. And
Like, that's
even
cool.
but even the greater community at Michigan, like I
Right.
feel like people really care about school. So
Yeah, true.
you are naturally just a little bit nerdy, and that's a fine thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I felt like I found my place there, but I don't know. I just was kind of with the same kids for so long, and I just remember always wanting to fit in so badly, and I couldn't. Like I just was not, and I still feel that a little bit today. But I don't know. Like there's just this weird like I just didn't really vibe with that group, I guess.
Yeah. No,
like I
that's
was
totally
always
fair.
like really different. And I think
Yeah.
it's also like like people put that on you. Like when I was younger, everyone would say like I was so hyper over dramatic, and I was like a really emotional kid, and I still am. But looking at it now, like I don't think I am a very dramatic person. I think I just feel things intensely, and like that was really frowned upon back then.
Right.
You know,
Still is, one could argue.
still is, but
Automatic.
you know, I care less about it. Like if I'm gonna be sad, I'm gonna be sad, and I'm proud of that. Honestly, I'm proud of that part of myself. I think it elicits empathy, and that's what you need as an actor. So clearly, that's what I was meant to do.
Facts. Facts only.
Not catch a ball because
Definitely not catching a ball. Definitely not running.
no.
But other things you're great at.
No, and the kids would bully me for running.
That's
They would
unfortunate.
bully me for
It's
running.
unfortunate. It's wrong.
It was the level of
I
my
can see
body
it.
hair and my athletic ability. I think that's what did it for me. Every time.
With the running specifically, or just in general?
My body hair, I had a full unibrow, and I had like
Just in general.
and I had
see.
like thick leg hair. I mean, a Greek Colombian child. We've been over this. Like,
yeah.
it just you're gonna get, and you're with all these Irish kids,
Yeah.
like who you can't see the hair on their bodies.
It's true.
So
It's true.
I wanted to be Irish so badly. I would practice Irish dancing in my
That is
kitchen.
crazy how many Irish people you went to school with.
I know.
Where that could even be a desire.
And now
for
when
yourself.
I see it, like
I
when
don't
someone
think I've ever had a desire to like change my ethnicity.
because you
to
were the
fill the
majority
masses.
ethnicity.
Right. No, I completely agree. I'm just expressing that.
No,
I've never
of
felt
course.
that way.
Well, I guess you're too old to feel that way when you go to Michigan.
Yeah, when you're older, it's like I don't want.
No, I wanted to be Irish so badly.
Wow. I guess
So
that makes
badly.
sense as a kid. Yeah.
Because it like all the cool families were Irish.
Right.
And they all like knew each other, and there was just like I don't know. It's funny though, because when I see someone today and like I see they have those little like those little like Irish rings that you have, and it's like
As Irish rings.
so there's these Irish rings that you have. I don't know what they're called, so excuse my Irish listeners.
Sure
Or
you have
excuse
so
me,
many.
my
Yeah.
Irish listeners. But
There you go.
it's like this little ring with two hands holding a heart. And my mom,
Oh.
actually found, I don't know why this was so weird for me, but anyway, the point of the ring is that if it faces, if the heart, I think, faces inward, it means that you're taken. And if it faces
Oh.
outward, it means that you're single.
Wow.
And anyway, all these kids would have these little ring hearts all the time.
Oh my god.
And when I see them today, like with people,
Do you still see those rings?
yeah, I see them
Wow,
and I'm like,
good for
oh,
you.
like I feel like I have a cultural connection to someone. Like I'm literally like, oh, you're Irish? How cool. Like I grew up with a bunch of Irish Catholics. And one time I found that ring in my mom's, like one of her, like I used to go through all of her jewelry boxes because I was obsessed. And I found one of the ring, and for some reason, like I don't know why, I felt like so betrayed that she had this ring of all people. I
Oh
was
my
like, Mom,
God.
why do you have this ring? You're not Irish. And she was like, oh, my Irish boyfriend gave it to me in high school.
Irish. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy. And you were upset that she kept it?
yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why. I was like, or I was
It's
upset
weird
that she
to-
had it, because for me it represented something that I never
That
had.
you weren't a part of, too.
Yeah. Which is so ridiculous now when you think about it.
Well, I think
but-
it's very weird to think about your parents having dated having had lives outside of your family. I think it's strange. Like dating
Yeah.
other people. It's just a
it
weird.
makes sense though, I think. Like my mom, it makes sense that she dated other people. My dad, it doesn't. But their dating histories make a lot of sense. Like
yeah, true.
my mom, the way she talks about her exes, she's like, yeah, and then we just outgrew each other and it was fine. Like you could just tell that she was the heartbreaker, and that she just like,
Yeah, true.
really, they all were in love with her and like wanted to marry her, and she just knew that she was bound for greater things. And my dad was in like one really long-term relationship that ended up being really toxic before my mom.
There you go.
And I feel like that's very fitting.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until I broke up with my ex, and my dad like sat me down and
And he told you the deets, the
he
juicy
told me the
deets.
deets. But yeah.
Wow.
I mean, do your parents ever talk? Well, your mom didn't date anyone before, right?
No, I don't think so. I think she alluded to having maybe a boyfriend, but nothing really significant. She's very much a lone wolf. Like she loves being alone. She loves her alone time. Anyone disrupting her alone time, she gets, "You're sitting me up," because of that comment that we got. How I'm small, and you are tall.
First of all, I'm not that tall. I'm 5'5". And second of all,
You always talk about how tall you are. You're like, I am a giant.
because I come from a short family.
Right.
So I feel like I'm towering over everyone.
Right.
And all of my friends are like 5.
5 feet?
Period. 5
Just
period.
in general. Yeah. Across the board.
Um,
Can't argue with that.
no, it's not that I don't, I just don't like it when you slouch because I feel like you start to fall asleep.
That's true.
That's why I don't like the couch situation.
Because I get too comfy.
Because you start to doze.
May I say that's very impressive that you can balance that little cup like that.
Continue.
Was I speaking?
Yes, about your
About
parents'
what?
love life.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, I'm just saying my mother was a lone wolf. There's nothing more to it, which makes perfect sense. She likes her alone time.
Yeah, that
She likes
does make
isolation.
sense.
Which I really admire.
I feel like I do love my alone time. I'm definitely introverted in that way. I've become more introverted when I left for college. I think because I was able to be.
Right. Well, you experienced that for the first time. And you were like, this is amazing. It is great.
I remember I
It's
would
really
sit in my dorm room and I would have microwavable Trader Joe's meals and put on a TV show, and I wouldn't go out to parties because I was so happy to be alone.
I will say that first week when you're in college and you're dropped off and like having that space for the first time feels really good.
And you kind of already had that space is the weird thing. Like I've never had that space.
Yeah, true.
I shared a room for most of my life with 2 siblings. But
That's
you
tough.
were living in an apartment with your grandfather, and
Yeah, we were vibing.
yeah,
That was pretty sweet.
we had your own room and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Well, growing up, I didn't though. Till I was
Okay.
16, I shared a room.
Oh, okay, so similar to me,
Yeah,
but I shared a room with 2.
with 2, that's significant.
And my
One was a
siblings
boy as
versus
well.
your sibling.
Big difference, I will say. My
Like-
brother was a little mouse.
Yeah,
Still
he is such a little mouse.
Yeah.
You're both mice.
Yeah,
My
Well,
siblings
it
are like
comes from-
frickin' Tasmanian devils.
they truly are. I can hear them from. I mean, I just think it's a difference of living in a house versus apartment. It
That's
always
true.
comes back to that. Did you grow up in an apartment? Did you grow up in a house? It cascades down to the rest of your life and your entire personality. Because it's how you grew up. Did you grow up being like, no, you have to shut up, Aaron, because we have neighbors? You can't walk so loud. Apartment feet, that's a real thing. House feet, you can totally tell if you grew up in a house. I can tell if we hang out for 5 minutes and shoes are off. The shoes have to be off. I can tell if you grew up in a house or an apartment just by listening to the way you step.
Who else do you know who grew up in an apartment?
If you're clanging your feet, I know for a fact you grew up in a house. Who else do I know?
I give
know?
house feet.
Yeah, you have house feet. It's not. It's just the way you were raised. It's just the way that you grew up. You grew up in a house. There's
That's
nothing
true.
wrong with that.
That's true.
There's no problem. But it's just the truth.
But it icks you a little.
It doesn't ick me. She grew up in a house. Her feet are hitting the floor like that. She grew up in a home.
That's true, and I do notice that
I couldn't tell 1-story versus 2-story home. Like, it's just home itself,
Yeah, no, I get that.
So it has no bearing on.
I mean, you do get really anxious when I if I'm
It's the running. It all goes back to the running.
jumping, or if I'm dancing, he gets really nervous.
Well, again,
I can't even have fun in the apartment without him
true.
tweaking
That's
in the
not true.
corner, bro.
It comes back to the running situation. Like when you run, you're very front heavy when you hit the ground. Do you know what I'm saying? You didn't like that. You didn't like that at all. You got something in your mouth. But what I'm saying is, when I first saw you run for the first time, and what I was trying to say before.
Wait, when did you see me run for the first time?
It must have been in college during a scene.
And you
or something.
remembered it that much because it was
It was very unique. It was a very unique form.
See, I told you guys. Everyone bullies me for this because I run like a gazelle.
It does have
I think
gazelle.
this is why I just don't run.
Right.
And
You've gotten much better. I've seen you more recently. It's more normal.
Where?
When I first met you, I've never seen anything like that.
And so what did you think? We were friends, right?
But yes.
What did you think?
Well, I had no judgment. I was just like, oh, that's interesting.
This is mortifying, you guys. It just goes to show that I deserve to be bullied.
No, you didn't deserve it. I'm saying it's completely wrong. But
I was a little freak. That's what happens when you do ballet, okay?
yeah, I understand. It was just very like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that's okay.
Okay, continue.
Continue.
Just continue shitting on me, Aaron.
All right. What else? No. Look, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we woke up with a very we woke up not that long ago, as you can tell, with a very perhaps like reflective, melancholy attitude.
The
Sorry,
matcha's
I'm
hitting,
slouching.
honestly.
But you're jazzing up, I can see.
Yeah.
You're about to attack your day.
When your glasses are not on your eyeballs, I know that you're not okay.
Why?
You're falling asleep.
I'm not falling asleep.
When your glasses slip up that way.
What the hell?
Sorry for the gulps that are happening, you guys.
Oh, God. I don't think they're that loud.
Oh, no. Probably not, but maybe you can tell that I lived in a house by the way that I gulp.
No, cannot. It's not a thing. Yeah. Well, was there anything else? Anything else you had? You can keep it short.
I don't know. What do you want to say, Aaron?
What do I want to say? I don't know. I'm just seeing where it goes. And there's anything else going on for you, girl? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just wanted to finish my matcha.
Oh, good. You've been slurping through your liquids pretty fast today.
Yeah, I know, because I haven't been able to go to the bathroom.
So you're trying to push it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Water should help.
I'm fine. I am worried that I might have PCOS or a thyroid issue because
Thyroid?
yeah, because that can cause a lot of the issues that I have. I think my mom thinks I might have a thyroid issue. She also has been freaking me out lately, though, a little bit. Like I think she tries to solve the problems in my life, but it just gives me a lot of anxiety when she offers solutions.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it'll be like, oh, you know what the problem is? It's like it's in the dirt 10,000 miles away. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, the solution's there, but how do I do that?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you have a thyroid issue. You would feel bad in your thyroid. How's your thyroid feel?
Where is your thyroid?
Okay, so it's not a thyroid issue. Thyroid is here, girl.
Oh.
That feels resonant. That feels strong. I don't think there's anything wrong there. Thyroid, you would feel like a weirdness.
You know what I think
Do you ever
about?
feel like swollen or any uncomfortability in your thyroid? Like when you swallow, it hurts?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you have a thyroid issue.
You don't?
I think you would. You didn't know where your thyroid was prior to this? I don't think you have a thyroid issue.
So this is embarrassing.
It's not
Maybe
embarrassing.
we should cut that part. I feel like sometimes this podcast is just me.
I've looked like a dum-dum so many times on this pod.
No, you never look like a dum-dum. Because
Yeah.
even when you say stupid things, you say it with conviction.
Well, I think that there's something really fantastic about owning up to when you don't know something. I think more people need to be like that. You know what I hate? My pet peeve is when I am talking to someone and I know they have no idea what they're talking about, but they say it with 100% conviction.
See, I admire that because I've never done that in my life. Even something that I am sure that I know,
I'll do the same thing. I'll question it. Or
no,
like
you
if
don't
someone,
question it.
But if someone's
especially when you talk to me, you don't question it.
When someone's like combative towards something I'm saying, I will accept it, even if I know they're wrong.
Well, that's just humility. That's not being unsure.
Yeah. But I'm saying there are people out there who will like correct you over something that they don't even know for a fact.
Yeah.
And I hope those people. Whoa, I don't know. That was going to a dark place.
Aaron's feeling a little bit dark lately. I think it's because we've been cooped up, you guys.
I've been cooped, and I don't know. It's just something very agitated. Are you guys feeling agitated this year? Maybe I am.
It's been a short year, but this year has been so frustrating.
It's been a super frustrating year.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a saying, it's like, I just lost it. What the heck?
Did you have your cup of coffee this morning?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I
I should
can't
probably
tell.
have two.
Yeah.
Should probably have another. Probably
Yeah.
do that. I was gonna say something about like, oh, the job of the job of a president should age the president, shouldn't age the people.
It's aging the people.
Yep.
I actually see wrinkles that I didn't see before.
Yep.
Which is not good. I don't know. Anyway, you guys, I just I don't know. Is there anything else to say?
No, I just I think everyone look. We woke up this morning in a bit of a melancholy depression, but that's okay because I feel like we've identified the problem, right? And sometimes that takes just like a second to
The
identify.
only thing that frustrates me is that I just feel like it's going to take a while to fix that problem. Like it's going to take
Yeah.
a while for us to be back in a production or back in doing stuff because we have so many other life things that we have to handle,
Yeah.
which
True.
is fine. And I think that that's just my constant battle. Yeah, figuring out when to, because it's like you work on a project and it takes a really long time, and then you put aside everything else in life, and then when you look at your life compared to the projects you create, you're kind of like, oh well, I'm really behind, like I should be making more money, or
Right.
I should be thinking about one day saving for a house, or like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that just kind of, I feel very behind. Like I feel like 3 years have passed me by living here, and what have I really accomplished in those years?
Yeah.
And I know that I've accomplished things internally. Like I do, like I said on the last pod, I feel stronger, and I feel like the opportunities that are coming to me and the opportunities that are passing me by, it feels more purposeful, and it feels more like I don't need everything that comes my way because it's not part of the plan, and it's not part of like I don't need everything. I feel less desperate, and I think that that's
Yeah.
important.
I think so.
But
Because
in a way, I also feel very closed off to most things. Like
yeah.
in the way that I feel less desperate, I felt like I was looking for opportunities and more outlets, but and I think that's just that comes with age. But at this point, I just feel more like I don't know. I feel like I really don't want to socialize or leave the house
Yeah.
or put myself in situations like that, which is, I think, probably detrimental to me. But
I mean, look, I think that's okay because you're telling yourself that you need to recharge in a certain way. And I think, look, like going out and talking to people and doing X, Y, and Z can feel like really exhausting, and you can burn out really quick that way. And I think that there's something about maybe this age, like when you turn 25 in
yeah,
particular, where I don't.
I feel so in limbo. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely, I do feel very lost.
Yeah.
I think that, and I know a lot of other 25-year-olds feel this way,
Yeah, I
but
think
it's like
pretty
you
much
look,
every 25-year-old I know feels like insanely lost right now.
yeah, and I think it's because like you look on social media or you
Mhm.
look on um TV shows and movies, and you see that the majority of the actors out there that you see, these like rising stars, they're all like in their mid 20s, you know what I
Right.
mean? And so it feels like you're really behind. Like I feel like I'm totally behind.
Yeah.
And like for example, my parents at this age, they got married, they bought a house, and that just feels so out of reach for
How old were
me.
they when they got married?
25 and 26.
Wow. Good for them.
And they bought a house like
That's crazy.
immediately.
Okay. Well.
And that just feels like something that I cannot get to. And I think I thought like these 3 years there would be some sort of forward momentum, either financially or career wise, and it doesn't feel like there has been. And I know that with like an actor, and this is what I always tell myself, like you are sort of building like without anything happening, and then all of a sudden something huge happens and can change your life overnight. And I hope that's the case, but I think in comparison to other careers, this doesn't feel like there's stepping stones.
No.
It just feels like you are hitting a wall, and you continue to hit a wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
And it fucking hurts. And that's what my life feels like right now. And I guess I'm not saying that to bring anyone down, but I guess I'm just saying that because um, I hope that you can resonate with that as well. And it's also
Well,
like,
look, here's the other side of that. Is it feels bad to just, be hitting this wall over and over and over again. But some people don't even know what wall they want to be hitting, Like some people have
yeah,
no idea what that is for them. And like for us, we haven't been thinking about that work that we want to do, and it just feels very isolating, it feels very lonely to be
yeah,
in that space. And I think that that's maybe how it feels when you don't quite know what it is
you
that
want to
fulfills
do.
you. And as much as it hurts, at least we have a direction of what we want, and we kind of know how we want to make it happen for ourselves.
Slightly.
I think we do.
I think we do. I think that there's sometimes I just feel like I put too much power in the like unknown or in someone else's
Yeah,
hands,
but I think that's what we're trying to change.
Yeah, I agree. I just, it's
But that
also
takes
like
more
I'm going to
time.
be honest with you, like when you tell people like if I've been in like a short something that maybe has like a cool credit, right? Versus like creating John and Co, which is like whatever, we just did it the two of us like with no money and it's just our friends that are in it.
Yeah.
That feels like a way bigger accomplishment to me than, you know, I haven't done much, but than like maybe booking a small commercial,
Yeah.
right? But to the outside world, booking that commercial is way bigger
Yeah.
than creating something on your own because it's like, well, oh, that's cool that they.
It's really funny
So
because,
it
like,
just feels very, and not that I care what other people think, but it feels discouraging to when I have this conversation with anyone else except for you.
yeah.
And even other actors, that are pursuing this thing.
Right. Well, people kind of weirdly with, if you had a friend who was like, oh, I'm starting a business, it's like, oh, that's really cool. What is it? For some reason, with like filmmaking or like acting, self-training, generating work, like people could give two shits about, like
Yeah.
that's just not, people don't care about that. Versus, yeah, if like you booked like a small indie, like non-union project, people are like, oh my God, that's amazing. But if like you were making that, people would be like, oh, nice,
Yeah.
which is weird. I don't know why that's the exactly the case.
Well, because I do think a lot of self-generated work could be shit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the majority of it is, but I don't know. I respect that to me, but I think that that's just because I want to do so. And a lot of people, their preferred path is just auditioning.
Well, I've done both paths simultaneously for the
Yeah,
past 3 years, I
yeah,
would say, since graduating. And I will say I do feel like I'm hitting a wall with both paths equally.
yeah,
Um Maybe tomorrow one day I could book something. I am very transparent with you guys. I have only booked 2 things. One of them was a non-union thing I found on Instagram, and that actually ended up being a really like cool project that I really enjoyed. Um, and a lot of the team were people our age who went to college together. And the other one was a SAG project, so it qualified me for union SAG eligible. But it was like a one line role, and the reason I got it was because I DM'd the director. And we had enough in common that it worked out, and it was still a low budget project, like I've been auditioning, like I think when actors say, like, I'll read, because I go to Wikipedia, as you guys know, my toxic trait. And
damn Wikipedia.
when actors say that they'll be like, and they auditioned, this pisses me off. Sometimes when people are like, this was their 100th audition, and then they booked it. Or like, when people are like, it was their 10th audition, and then they booked it,
Right.
that really pisses me
That's
off.
insane.
But like Wikipedia and the internet makes it sound as if 100 auditions is a
Is a
lot.
lot.
It's
Yeah.
nothing.
It's nothing.
My first year that I moved out here, I said to myself, because one of my friends, she was like, I like to write out in a spreadsheet all of the auditions that I've gotten and the casting director so I can see if the casting director is a repeat, because that's usually a good thing. You want to try a little bit harder for those auditions. And I will say, all you have to do is look up their name in your email and see if it pops up again.
Yeah.
It's quick cheat, okay?
Quick cheat, yeah.
And I literally like
Quick
started on this thing because I was like, I'm gonna get into the business side of my career. Like I'm gonna make this spreadsheet.
Delicious.
And I get to about 100 in the first, like, you know, first year that I had been auditioning.
Yeah.
And I knew I had way more that I hadn't written down, and I had to stop. I was like, I'm approaching 100. I don't want to know how many I've been auditioning
You just gotta keep going.
for.
You just gotta keep
so
going.
This is like probably thousands at this point. I don't know.
But definitely, probably hundreds for sure.
Definitely hundreds. And I don't want to know the number of how many I've
best not to
been doing, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm honestly like, how do they know it was their 100th audition? Like, is that real? It just, I don't know. I think you're lucky if you book in 3 years. I think you're really lucky.
You're super lucky.
I think that the 10-year grind is more probable, but you guys are going to see me. Like, I'm manifesting popping off this year, you guys. Okay?
Yeah.
Last year, I manifested my rise.
This was the rise year.
Slow rise, okay?
Slow.
And this year, I need something that changes my life.
We need a pop. We need just a single pop.
And maybe that's creating a movie on our own. You will see.
You will see. You will learn more about that.
Maybe it will be booking a show that gives me creative and financial stability. But I think the weird thing is, like, I look at all of these actors that maybe have popped off later in their career, or maybe, like, you know, look like they're coming into the scene, but they're really not. And I see how long they've been auditioning for, and how many, like, maybe they booked when they were like 24, 25, but they were booking smaller roles, or they were doing guest stars, or maybe they were a recurring role for like 5 years or 6 years in a TV show that just wasn't super huge, and maybe they're not known by name. But I see that, and I also see like how little control you have over your career if you do it that way as well.
Yeah, which is also really scary, like that you're...
And it does. It terrifies me to not have control. So I think that's also why we're grading things, because even though I think Aaron has like a true gift at directing and writing, I don't have that gift, but I do have the push. I have the psychotic push.
Yeah, you need that. You need a team who has someone who can just keep everyone moving forward, you know?
Sure.
And no, it's true.
I think that...
Because I don't think I have that naturally.
No, you definitely don't. But you definitely have talent, which is more valuable.
Well, I think I have like impulses, but I think you have like, okay, let's carry it through, you know? And I think you need both of those spectrums for anything to get done. Because there's no value in an impulse if it doesn't go anywhere. That's
true, and everyone has an impulse.
Yeah. So.
But you have the talent to carry it through. A lot of people don't have that, to be completely honest with you. So yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is that
yeah. Oh, same. Well, guys, we appreciate it. We hope you guys are all doing well. You guys are managing your stress. It's been a stressful year thus far. And we heart you.
We heart you, you guys.
We heart you. All right, I got to take a big poo, and then I'm going to drink a coffee. So I hope you all have a good one, and I'm going to leave it at that. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. Tune in next week, you guys. Oh. Be fun, bitches.